and get rid of disgrace. How to get out of debt and get rid of disgrace. So I'll be picking a context from this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, talking about the story of Dabasa. But I'll first of all begin with this. Being young and without experience, I did not know that he who spends more than he earns is sowing the wind of needless self-indulgence, from which he is sure to reap the whirlwind of trouble and humiliation. So I indulged my whims for fine raiment and bought luxuries for my good wife and our home beyond our means. Listen to that last point that I just made. Beyond our means. So the major issue and the major problem this Tabasa made in his own lifetime is that he spends more than he earns. He borrowed money from friends, borrowed money from families, borrowed money from borrowers in order to fund his lifestyle, which he is not worth. So we'll talk about a few points right now. We'll talk about uh, living beyond our means. What is actually bring about? What living beyond our means will bring about? So uh, the Barca lived beyond his means, and what that brought about is disgrace from friends, disgrace from family. So basically, we'll talk about his life now. So Dabasa lived in Babylon. He came from a well-to-do home. He had quite a well-to-do father, and he was a camel tender. So in his early years, he believed things would be rosy, so I can just take on all the debts, make my wife feel okay, just all stuff like that. So he got married, he did everything. So at the middle of it all, the debt so much overwhelmed him. He had no other choice than to run away from Babylon. He borrowed money to buy clothes, he borrowed money to buy shoes, he borrowed money to buy luxury things for himself, his home, and his wife, but later ended up in trouble. So he left Babylon. He joined a group after all the turmoil, he couldn't pay back the debt. He joined a group of thieves. So after joining the group of thieves, their first operation was successful. He stole, they got money. After getting money, they spend the money anyhow, they enjoy themselves. And the second operation was not successful as the goods they were supposed to steal, the person that owns the goods already employed a spearman. Then during these days, we call them snipers. So he employed a spearman who hid somewhere along the way in order to actually check for dangers and actually attack dangers as it actually occurs. So as they try to actually attack the second goods in order to actually get money out of that, they were attacked by the spearmen and their leader was killed. After they killed the leader, they attacked all of them. They got them. They captured them. So a Syrian trader, a Syrian chief, got hold of Dabasa. So he took Dabasa to his wife, and he took Dabasa to a Syrian desert. So in that Syrian desert, the chief presented Dabasa before his four wives. So when he got to the four wives, the first wife looked at him. So he asked them, "What do you want to use him for?" He's a slave, and his origin, where he came from, was a free man in Babylon. But after he actually took the decision of, okay, let me just, since I'm owing people, I can't go back, I'm ashamed, so let me do this. So he became a slave in Syria. So the first wife saw him, he said, I don't need him. The second wife said, I don't need him. Third wife, I don't need him. So the last wife, which is the fourth wife, Lyra, said he needed him. He needed someone to tend to his camel. So maybe when he wants to go out, you help him tend to his camel and do stuff like that. So Lyra was very kind and nice to Dabasa. So on their first meeting, when he met Lyra, he told Lyra, I'm a free man. I came from Babylon. I'm not a slave. My life, I've never been that of a slave. So Lyra was like, how come you ended up becoming a slave? So he explained to Lyra what went wrong, how he borrowed money and couldn't pay back the money, and how he had to leave Babylon for the meantime. So Lyra told him that how come someone who is a free man ended up becoming a slave? That means inside of him, deep down, he was a slave. He was never a free man. So that one got him angry. He said, he's not a slave, he protested. So during his time, I think he spent a year in Syria. So during those period, whenever the slaves gather together to maybe to talk or to work together, he's always on his own. So Lyra went to meet him. It was like it was like, why are you not with the rest? Like the slave, they are together, they are eating together, they are doing stuff together. But why are you secluded? He said, because I'm not a slave, I'm a free man. So Lyra told him that he asked Lyra to, why aren't you with the remaining wives when they do things together and stuff like that? She said, because I am also not supposed to be where I am. So they were like, okay, that means our paths cross. That means we have the same mentality. We don't want this life that we are living. Lyra now offered to help him. So Lyra now offered to find a way to help him get out of Syria, of Syria. So there's a particular day Lyra wanted to go and see a sick mother. So they went together to see the sick mother. The two of them talked on the way, and he was still talking that he wants to live. I want to be a free man. I'm not enjoying the life I'm living and stuff like that. So Lyra now asked him a particular question. Lyra said, "Are you ready to go back to Babylon?" He said he's ready to go back to Babylon. Can you possibility?